CDC says skin cancer is the most common form of cancer across the U.S. And with summer in full swing now, skin care specialists are warning everyone of the risks that come with extended sun exposure. WKYT's Alyssa Williams shares what you can do to protect your skin from the sun.
The summer season brings more people outdoors, but with more time in the sun comes an increased risk of damaging the skin.
So skin cancer is a big problem in our country. It's one of the most frequently diagnosed of all malignancies, of all cancers.
UK Chief of Pediatric Hematology and Oncology, Dr. John DeRazio, says some skin cancers include squamous and basal cell carcinomas, most commonly seen in older people, and melanoma, which is the deadliest and impacts people of all ages.
The guidelines for checking your skin frequently and going to get, skin checks by a professional are intended to catch these cancers early while they're more treatable.
Dr. DeRazio says it is important for everyone to know their own sun sensitivity.
If you look across the population at who are the people getting like the bad melanomas, most of the time it's people who are very fair in complexion, who have trouble getting a sun tan. They're going to burn instead.
Dr. DeRazio adds that wearing protective clothing, using sunscreen, and staying in the shade during the sun's peak are great steps in preventing skin cancer.
I don't say don't go outside, but use common sense. Try not to get sunburns. Try to know your skin sensitivity for the sun and act accordingly on that.
Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
And Dr. DeRazio adds that even though it is more common for those with lighter complexions to get skin cancer, it is still possible for those with deeper skin tones to get it as well. They just happen to see it in more hidden places like the bottom of their feet.